So we got V5 changes. I'm late to the party because, well, I'm just tired, right? And I was looking at other stuff, not realizing that there would even be a V5 today. So let me help you guys find out the changes. So the first change we're going to go over is Dan Heng. His skills shield got a small buff of an extra 80 flat attack. His ultimate, also the shield once again, got a small buff of 80 more flat attack. The talent, I believe, is only wording changes. Oh wait, no, sorry. It isn't only wording changes. When Soul Dragon takes action, dispel one debuff from all allies and provide a shield that can offset damage equal to 10% of Dan Heng's attack plus 200 attack. Before it was 160. The rest are wording changes. Then his Trace 3 had a decent bit added to it. When Soul Dragon takes action, additionally provides a shield that can offset damage equal to 5% plus 100 base attack of, Dan Heng's attack to the ally target with the lowest current shield effect. When repeatedly receiving Dan Heng's shield, the shield can be stacked up to 300% of the shield provided by the current skill. And then his E6 simply got a wording change. So that's everything we have with Dan Heng. Basically just the flat attack all around on basically everything got slightly buffed. And now he gives a bit of shield to the ally with the lowest amount of shield whenever Soul Dragon takes action, which is the summon. Alongside this, his Lycone got a massive attack buff, going from increasing attack by 24% to increasing attack by 64%. However, they removed the increased shield to allies, so keep that in mind. However, this is an overall buff because his shields are already basically indestructible, and it makes his attack buff even larger than it was before. So overall, another buff. Dan Heng has only been continuously receiving small buffs over and over and over time, and now he's gotten significantly better. And I believe at E0 S1 or E1 S0, he is basically on the same level, if not slightly better, than Bronya Sustainless with Phanon. Right. Now, let's get into March's change, which isn't really all that crazy. March's change basically capped the amount of speed she could scale off of from her Memo Sprite talent up to 40 points of Memoria. Now, apparently this was actually a thing already in the previous version. However, I don't think it was in the translation. So this already existed, but now it's more clear. And I believe it actually got buffed. People were saying in the last version it was 30 points of Memoria, and now it's 40. And the last change is on her skill. Increases crit damage of all ally Memo Sprites by an amount equal to 24% of Evernight's crit damage. Now before, this was 30%, so this is a bit of a nerf. However, to be honest, it's not that big of a deal. The team already gets a absolute fuck ton of crit damage, so it's not like this is gonna suddenly drop her value noticeably in her teams, right? So that's all for the V5 changes. That's all I'm going to say about it. You can leave the video now if you want to. This little bit at the end is going to be a bit of a rant, right? Dan Heng. I personally think this is a very, very good sustain. He is way more general than Hyacine is. He's SP positive. He does more buffs than Hyacine for more characters. And yes, although Hyacine does more damage, the reality is damage is much more easily power creepable compared to buffing, right? So in my opinion, Dan Heng is just a higher value sustain to have on anyone's account in comparison to Hyacine, and his Eidolon investment is as well more general, as Hyacine's Eidolon investment is much more focused on instead buffing Cassie and specifically HP scaling teams, right? But a lot of people have been doom posting Dan Heng quite a lot, and it rubs me the wrong way because of all people to complain about Dan Heng's value, it's Phenon mains, right? I see a Noxa mains rejoicing about being able to use Dan Heng as a really good sustain. I see Archer mains as well happy about what Dan Heng is able to provide. Yet the biggest benefactors of Dan Heng's release are the ones complaining the most, even though Phenon is also already stronger than both of said DBSs, right? So here's the thing. A lot of people are complaining that basically Dan Heng isn't to Phenon what Hyacine is for Casterus. One, that's not even a good thing. Just look at how much people fucking hate needing to pull Hyacine for March or Cassie because of how reliant their performance is on her. And two, Hyacine is only this big of a buff for her niche being the HP scalers, and 2 HP scalers sustains are no different to harmonies, right? So it makes more sense for Hyacine to do what she does for her teams and her niche. Dan Heng is not being paired with HP scalers. And if you did want Dan Heng to be like the Hyacine to just general DPSs who can use him, or Phenon, then you want Dan Heng to have more buffing capability with invincible shields and SP positivity than limited harmonies. Okay? Understand just how delusional that sounds. It sounds really delusional, right? Especially if this guy ends up being free, even more so, right? I'm not saying you can't be sad that his V1 synergies are gone. I'm not saying you can't be disappointed that he isn't this crazy strong sustain that pushes Phenon even further. However, please understand that if you're one of these people actively trying to doom this guy, despite the fact that he has much higher value than Hyacine for the majority of DPSs in this game, know that what you want is one of two things. Either a sustain who amps as much as limited harmonies with no drawbacks, or you're asking for him to have a specific departed buff, which everybody fucking hates because no one likes buffs being locked to one specific character, right? Dan Heng will simply be there for anyone who wants the comfort of running sustain, and that's going to be 99% of this game's player base. If you care so much about zero cycles or getting the highest damage output possible, just wait for Cyrene, probably pull her E1, and I guarantee you'll be very satisfied with his sustainless performance, as Phenon usually can get 2 ults before his team dies, right? So this is pretty big, since currently even low-cost Phenons, they're usually able to zero cycle within 1 ult and a little bit of an ult at the beginning. So you still have a lot of turns left, and there are multiple levels of Phenon vertical investment to go through before you can even worry about getting a stronger 4 slot for your Phenon team. Gonna be honest, this is mainly a problem for whales who already have E2S1 Phenon, already have Sunday, already have Ceredra and E1 Ceredra, and now finally you can look to upgrade the 4 slot if you want to further increase your performance for cost investment, right? Love you all. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great night, and peace out.